Today, we're diving into a story about an idea so powerful it completely changed how we see the world and our place in it. And it all began with one person, Charles Darwin.
So how on earth does a kid who just really loves collecting bugs grow up to completely rewrite the rules of biology? It sounds kind of wild, doesn't it? But it's true. And we're going to connect those dots, starting from the very beginning.
All right, so our story doesn't kick off in some fancy lab. Nope. It starts with a young boy who was way more interested in tromping through the woods than sitting at a desk.
Way before he was this world-famous scientist, Charles Darwin was just a kid who, honestly, found school a little bit boring. His real passion wasn't in textbooks. It was being outside, getting his hands dirty, and just looking at the incredible world around him. And get this, his absolute favorite thing to do was to collect beetles. Yeah, beetles. It might just sound like a simple hobby, but think about what that teaches you. It teaches you to be patient, to notice the tiniest little differences, and how to categorize what you find. I mean, those are the exact skills that would shape his entire life's work.
And this really gets to the heart of it. His true education didn't come from memorizing facts. It came from learning how to see, how to observe. You could say his greatest teacher wasn't a person at all, but nature itself. And that deep, lifelong curiosity, well, it was about to lead him on the adventure of a lifetime, a journey that wouldn't just change his world, but ours too. So, when he's just 22 years old, Darwin gets this incredible invitation to be the onboard naturalist for a ship, the HMS Beagle. For 5 straight years, his job was basically to observe, collect, and write down everything he saw. He had no clue at the time, but this one trip would provide all the pieces for his world-changing puzzle. The Beagle sailed all over the globe, but there was one stop in particular that would go down in history, a remote, volcanic group of islands called the Galapagos. It was here, in the Galapagos, that Darwin noticed something really fascinating. He's looking at these little birds, finches, and he realizes they're not all the same. On one island, the finches had these thick, powerful beaks, perfect for cracking open hard nuts. But then you hop over to another island, and the finches there had thin, sharp beaks like tweezers, great for picking insects out of tree bark. They were all finches, but each one was perfectly customized for its own little island. And this is where the light bulb really starts to flicker on. Why? I mean, why would these birds have totally different tools for mouths when they live on islands just a few miles apart? It couldn't be a coincidence, and that one simple question would buzz around in his mind for the next 2 decades. The answer he finally put together would do more than just explain the birds. It would fundamentally reshape our understanding of all life. He called it the theory of evolution. So the core idea is actually pretty simple. It's that life isn't fixed. It's constantly, very slowly changing. Over immense stretches of time, species gradually adapt to better fit into their environment. But how does it happen? Well, Darwin's big explanation was a process he named natural selection. You can kind of think of it in 3 steps. First, variation. Just look around. In any group of living things, there are tiny differences. Think about those finch beaks. Second, adaptation. Some of those little differences give an individual an edge, helping it survive better. And third, survival. The creatures that are best adapted are more likely to live long enough to have kids and pass on those winning traits. It's this simple, elegant process that over millions of years creates all the amazing diversity of life we see. So coming up with this revolutionary idea, that was one thing, but sharing it with the world that maybe wasn't quite ready to hear it, that was the next big challenge. After almost 20 years of carefully building his case and gathering a mountain of evidence, Darwin finally published his masterpiece, On the Origin of Species. In it, he laid out his entire detailed theory for the whole world to see. The impact was like a seismic shockwave through science. For the first time, it gave us a single, powerful explanation for all of life. And it completely changed how we see ourselves and where we fit in the great branching tree of life. And that influence is absolutely still with us. Darwin's work isn't just some old story. It's the very foundation of modern biology. Everything from medicine to conservation relies on his ideas. And this final quote really says it all, doesn't it? It's not about being the strongest or the fastest. It's about being the one who can adapt to change. A profound lesson about all of life, figured out by a curious man who never, ever lost that childhood wonder for collecting beetles.